Hello everyone, my name is Amanda Tette, and today I'll be explaining the separation of powers and how it works in Germany. So what is separation of powers? It's a principle that ensures that no single person, office or institution is holding all the power, and so it divides the work of the state into three main branches: the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. And each branch has its own task, and none of them is allowed to overstep into another's job. The first branch I would be talking about is the legislative. Their job is to create laws that apply to everyone in the country, and in Germany, this power is shared by the Bundestag, which is the federal parliament, and then the Bundesrat, which represents the German states. So the Bundestag debates, amends, and passes the laws, while the Bundesrat ensures that the interests of the states are respected. Next, we have the executive branch, responsible for carrying out the laws that the parliament creates, and in Germany, it's led by the federal government and headed by the chancellor. So the chancellor works with the federal ministers to direct policies, manage day-to-day administration, and ensures that the laws are put into action fairly and efficiently. The executive also includes the federal president, whose role is more ceremonial but still important. The third branch is the judicial, and it's made up of the courts. So their job is to interpret the law and make sure that justice is served. So all the judges in Germany must remain independent. They cannot be influenced by politicians or by public pressure. And at the very top, we have the Federal Constitutional Court, and their role is to ensure that all the laws and government actions respect the German Constitution, which is the basic law. So if there's any law that violates the basic law, the Constitutional Court has the authority to strike it down. And so based on these rules, we have the term checks and balances, where the branches are made to check and balance each other so that each one can limit the other from exercising too much power if they go too far. So this is what keeps the rule of law strong in Germany and ensure that the state itself is bound by law. So a very good example is what happened in November 2007, when the German parliament passed a law requiring phone and internet companies to store users' data for several months. And it was actually to help fight crime. However, many people argue that it violated their right to privacy under the basic law. And so after taking effect on 1st January 2008, on 2nd March 2010, the Federal Constitutional Court ruled the law was unconstitutional because collected too much personal data, and so it could not be enforced. And this is a good example, a case to show how the judicial branch can protect citizens when laws made by the parliament go too far. So why does it really matter? I think separation of powers means that the branches must work together but stay independent, and this balance is what prevents corruption and the abuse of power. And it also gives the citizens confidence that no single branch is acting without limits. And it's also a way to safeguard democracy and keep things fair. So to sum, in Germany, the parliament makes the laws, the government enforces them, and the courts interpret them. So far, what have we learned? I think the main highlight is that without this separation, one branch could dominate the others, and democracy would quickly lose its meaning. And so the principle of separation of powers is very needful and necessary. Thank you very much for watching and listening.